Well, good morning. It's 9:02, and I see a lot of familiar names have logged in. A lot of people I have no idea. So welcome to all of you today. This is the INA Post-Summit webinar series for those of you who had went to the summit here and signed up there. We appreciate you attending today. Those of you who didn't and are here for the first time, we appreciate you as well. Today was actually Starmark was supposed to present today, Cindy Gordon for Starmark, but there have been emergencies that have shown up in their day, and they are not going to be there. So they've sent me their presentation, and I'm going to try and do my best to do them just rewards. So this could be a little bit sketchy in a couple of places as I've gone over this, but let's hope I get it good and do a good service. If you have questions, do feel free to type your questions in it. We'll try to answer a couple of them at the end. If we're flooded with a lot of them, we'll try to then do an email and send out all the answers that we can to those questions. So appreciate it. All right, let's get this show on the road. This is the Broker's Survival Guide to Health Reform on October the 17th. Great day because it's my birthday today. So let's talk about today's discussion. Now, a lot of people have been having these types of seminars, so hopefully today you hear something new, but at the same time, you may very well hear something that's a repeat, but I think it's good to hear. In order to survive healthcare reforms, what must a broker be prepared to do? Let's make this thing go forward. Well, they must be willing to take an introspective, intellectually honest assessment of their book of business. What do we mean by that? Really take a look of what your book of business is made up, the type of groups that you have, the size of those groups. You need to be able to take a look and predict how do you think healthcare reform is going to affect your client, and in turn, how's it going to affect you? And that's a tough question because there's still so many answers left out there, or questions left to answer. Create and implement a strategic plan to thrive, not just survive. And I think that's why we're all here today. So first of all, you need good partners, partners who understand your needs. Here's what's great. Starmark wrote this. You have the right partner in Insurance Network America, and that's us. Keep taking advantage of the resources that we have to offer. We have a lot of resources. We have, of course, we have our salespeople here that are trained constantly to keep up with the PACA regulations and things of that sort. We're going to do seminars, webinars like this. We do have our producer summit we do every year that has a lot of training for agents to make them be able to grow their companies, work smarter, not harder. We have a library of webinars, marketing pieces, all kinds of things at your disposal that are all free, that are designed to help you succeed. Leverage the resources offered by NAHU, AHIP, and other organizations. All these organizations have some sort of training and education out there to try and help keep you up to speed. Still staying on this theme of the introspective, intellectually honest assessment of your business, break it up into a couple of pieces. First of all, there's what's called hard data. Hard data would be take a look at your lines of business. How many people do you have in each one of those lines? Who are your carriers? What are your commission rates? Where is your money being driven? Where is your commission being driven from? It's important to know the contribution levels. That's going to be important to you when you start looking at moving product to these guys or showing your groups new options. Product penetration. How many different products do you have in a particular client's office? Are there things that they should see that you haven't shown them? Soft data would be different things. Strength of the client relationship. We all know we have those clients that will do anything that we tell them to do. We have others that you sometimes feel like they're just looking for an excuse to move to somebody new. So you've got the whole gamut of relationships. Look at the strength of your client's business. There's a lot of businesses today that, with today's economy, what's their strength? Those that are doing well are probably going to be looking to grow and put more benefits into their program to keep those good clients. Others, maybe not so much, and you need to be aware of those. And then, of course, what are your clients' attitudes towards the benefit programs? Predicting how health reform will affect their clients and, in turn, yourself. Certainly, there are two major components of a packet to prepare for. Exchanges. What can I say? That subject seems to change quite a bit. Even at my latest local NAHU meeting that I was in, we were hearing new things that had just happened here in the Idaho legislature about exchanges that was new to me. So the exchanges, it's important first to understand everything about them and how they will affect you. Understand the payroll contribution dynamics. There's so much that you're going to be required, your employers are going to be required to know come time for these exchanges. And of course, it's hard to believe, but we're only, this is October 2012, 1 year from today, those exchanges are supposed to be up and going. A community rating is going to take effect as well. And what is going to be effective? The age rate compression and rate band compressions. There's a lot of talk about community rating with people who don't understand community rating. A lot of us aren't in states where community rating is. We hear about it. Community rating, in short, is going to be that we can't ask any health questions, so nothing will be underwritten. So companies are certainly going to have to make adjustments for the fact that they don't know what kind of health they're going to get. They aren't allowed to ask. Community rating also with the compression change, most states that I know that INA markets in that are non-community rated, the ratios are anywhere from 6 to 1 to as high as 8 to 1. What does that really mean? I ran across a really neat article from Forbes that actually had a nice little piece that I've stolen and put here in this for some people to kind of understand what community rating and compression is going to actually do. On the left-hand side, you'll see what is called an underwritten 6 to 1 ratio state, which basically says that if an insurance company believes that someone around 18 years of age is going to cost $800 a year to insure, then that company, if they have a 6 to 1 ratio, what they believe is the most expensive, those under 65, at the top end, are going to take 6 times more money in order to insure, so $4,800. So when you take a total look at it, it's $5,600. If you go to community rating, and I'm not going to even consider not being underwritten or them raising money, I'm just going, for health conditions that are unknown, all I'm going to say is if I'm going to go 3 to 1, I still need that same $5,600. But because I can only have 3 points difference from my lowest to my highest, what you can see here is that the 18-year-old's rate now climbs to $1,400, and that the older people, the 64-year-olds, will drop to $4,200. I still have my same $5,600, but what you see is that the bottom tiers move up 75%. Bottom line, what I'm hearing in the industry is that come 2014, there's just no way the plans that are out there don't move up 30 to 40%. There's just not a way to do it when you're going to do community rating and you're not going to be underwriting for anything. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of understanding, if you're not familiar with community rating, how that works and how that actually is going to affect the rates. And so your lower people, certainly your groups that are younger, yes, they could see some huge increases, more than 40%. Those at the high end, if they are older, they will see some small decrease. I feel like saying any questions now, but we'll just move on to the next part. Create and implement a strategic plan to thrive, not to survive. Continue. You need to look at your product mix. Certainly, individual products like life, disability, those products are still products that I believe are going to be very important, because nothing that's been done in PPAC is really designed to lower the cost of insurance. People are still going to need protection from loss, and disability is a great product that is being sold a lot today, and I think is going to pick up even more as time goes on. Certainly voluntary worksite products, such as dental, critical illness, accident. Those products are going to be very popular. In fact, are growing in popularity right now based on every statistic and every place that I've seen. These products are growing in popularity today. There's even some speculation on my part that if the exchanges happen, my personal opinion is that a lot of small employers have health plans in order to be able to compete against the big companies, and so refer to them as golden handcuffs. If, for example, though, I'm keeping my employees because I have a better health plan than the guy down the street does, if everybody goes to the exchange, how am I going to keep an employee there if the guy down the street, if the employee is going to the exchange and getting his plan, which he can take anywhere he wants to go, but can move down the street for the same job for 25 cents more? Why doesn't he? There's no reason not to, because he doesn't have a health plan to keep them there. So I believe those dollars that employers have may change and go to putting in work site type of products to develop some sort of new form of golden handcuffs, my personal opinion. Non-insurance products such as wellness programs, discount cards, and then of course we're hearing more and more agents are looking at HR support such as payroll and HR compliance programs. Even here at INA, we are looking at some product currently ourselves to possibly see if it's something that we could offer to our agents, you folks, and make it worth your while. So organic growth versus strategic partners. There's certainly self-funded medical plans. Small group self-funded. Certainly is able to take advantage of some things such as age compression. It's certainly advantageous for younger groups, especially when community rating rolls in. There'll be even a bigger difference than there is today. Because on a self-funded plan, we don't have to follow the age compression, and you can still have 6-to-1, 7-to-1. Rate band compression, same thing for healthier groups. This will be a good thing for them as well. Then there's the reporting side of things, where groups can actually know where their dollars go, complete transparency. Where did the claims go? And you can still protect PHI because most of the information that we have for our people comes to de-identified. So you know you have a claim, but it doesn't list a person's name. And certainly, what are some of the incentives? Well, it's a healthier lifestyle. The idea of a partially self-funded plan for a group is becomes where a group is actually managing an asset. They look at their health care and their health dollars as an asset, and they get their people involved. And many of the companies that we use have programs that are designed to get their employees involved in their health. And healthier lifestyles mean lower claims. They also have many side effects which are good for the company, which is not so much, what is that neat word they have now? Well, presenteeism, where you're at work but you're really not there. You're there physically but not mentally. They're seeing that more work is getting done with these people on these plans because there's many benefits to this. So survival strategies, rationalize your client base, know what you have. Prepare for the 1114 changes. For those of you who maybe haven't been tracking it, don't have anything, one of the things we can offer to you here at INA is we do have something that's the Affordable Care Act timeline, which will tell you what things are going to be, at least at this point in time, that we know will be implemented year by year, starting with this year, 2012, and we go through 2018. And kind of gives you an idea of what to prepare for. If that's something you're interested in, you can call here and talk to your sales rep, and they'll get you set up with one. Expand your product offerings. Strategic alliances. Make sure you have partners that are going to help you make it through this. Move up in the market. You need to have a business plan. That whole deal about if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. I truly believe, and I think that you need to make sure you sat down and really look at this and have a plan, something that you can look at, measure, and if you're getting the success that you want, great. If you don't, you can reboot. You can go back to your plan, make changes. So some things you can recommend is get a coach that will help you, Get a small board of directors, meaning just a few friends and partners or even staff that you can bounce ideas off of. There's always power in a group. Normally we'd have open discussion here, but what I'm going to actually do here is just check and see if there are any questions that have been submitted at this point in time right now. And we do have a few questions here. Let's see if I can get to them. Right now, as I understand, individual products won't be underwritten later on, but today certainly they are. Does INA offer worksite products? We certainly do. We have multiple different offerings from different carriers. Contact your rep, and they can kind of get you set up there. It all kind of depends on what your group is looking for to what might be the best fit. Copy of the presentation. The presentation, this is actually being recorded, and it will be put on the INA website. You do have to register, which means you just have to give us your name and your email address, and this is then available to you recorded. As far as actual PowerPoint presentation being available, since it's star marks, I'll have to check with them. If they say yes, we can certainly make that available. Let's see, other questions. Obviously, you are offering small group self-funded. How long have I been doing it? What kinds of results? Oh, great questions. Some people will know I'm kind of new to INA. I've only been here about 1.5 years, but I have been looking at statistics and data that go back 10 years. Looks to me like they started selling small group partial self-funded about 5 to 6 years ago. And the results have been phenomenal, to be very honest with you. And it is a high percentage of our volume right now, as a matter of fact. I can tell you, Starmark's not here to validate this, but I believe the last time I actually looked at Starmark and asked them this statistic, roughly a hair over 50% of their groups actually receive some type of refund. And that just is not something that you see much in small group health plans getting a refund. So that has worked out pretty good. Depending on your state, somebody just asked another question. We can go down to 5 in some states, 10 in others. So you'd need to call and find out what state you're in and talk to your sales rep to find out whether we can help you with that or not. So back to my question, the results have been great. They renew nicely. And I look at partial self-funding more as a marriage versus when you buy a fully insured plan, it's a little more like renting. You just get it, and you don't have to worry about anything. You pay your deal at the end of the year. You hope you got a good return, hope you get a good renewal. And it's really not even based on how good your group ran, because if your block ran bad, they're going to come whack you because the block ran bad. Partial self-funded takes a totally different approach, and it usually pays off in the end. So a lot of questions here. When self-funding, can you design your own benefits? Do those designs have to comply with the PAC-I? Can you place annual limits? There are certain things. When it comes to self-funding, you have a great deal of flexibility. In fact, that's one of the benefits to it, is that you can create plans that designs are very rich. As far as complying with the PACA, there are some things they do comply with, which are limits. They don't have limits on the plans. They also follow all of the plans that we have that follow the PACA guidelines for wellness. So there are some things that they do. The great thing about self-funding, though, is, of course, there are some things they can get by with. They don't have to do all the state mandates. And so there are a few things there that they get to skip around. Let's see. Oh, my goodness, the questions are flowing. So I will have to go through and see if I can get any more. I think we'll try to do one more. Oh, should I even try it? It's a political question. If Romney was to get elected, can he really repeal the whole thing? My personal opinion of this, once again, this is my personal opinion, nothing more. I have listened to several people talk about this that are, I will say, smarter than myself. I kind of refer to it as you can't put all the toothpaste back in the tube once it's out. So I don't think that all of it can go back in. There are certainly pieces of it that people like, that are popular, that even carriers like, and the carriers, some of them have said they'd keep even if it got repealed, such as the 26-year-olds being able to stay on plans, the wellness stuff. A lot of them said, hey, no problem, we'll keep that. The unlimited, so a lot of that I think will stay. I don't think you can repeal it all, but there are certainly pieces of it that certainly, if they were to change today, say MLR rules, would make a big difference on the fully insured market, as well as even comp to agents such as yourself. So we're going to go with that for today. I do want to let you know, I want to thank you. I do want to let you know one more thing. There is a self-funding marketing kit that we've developed here for those of you who might be interested. Call here, talk to your rep, we'll send it out to you. It has a couple different pieces. It has a piece that talks about the myth that self-funding is only for the big guys and that it is good for small group and it works great. There is also a marketing piece, which you see here, called alternate funding is not just for the big boys. It's a piece that you can design it's designed to be a mailer, or we have an HTML that you can drop into an email to send to your clients that tells them a little bit about, say, hey, contact me for information. So we have a couple pieces there. Remind you also do have the Affordable Care Act timeline. If you want that, ask the reps for that as well. Also, Insurance Network America has two big things a year for our top producers. We have the Summit, which was our training, and then we have our rewards, which is the Costa Rica trip in 2013. It's 5 days in Costa Rica. Everything's paid for at this place, everything from your meals to your alcohol and rest and relaxation, anything that happens on the facility other than the golf or motorized vehicles. It's a tremendous opportunity to just relax and enjoy yourself. It is. We are actually right now. We are doing double points between now and the end of the year to qualify for this. Typically, it takes 75 medical lives to qualify. If you right now with double points, you write 30. What is that? 38 medical lives between now and January 1 effective date, and you get it approved by January the 10th. You would then qualify for our Costa Rica trip, all expenses paid. So it's actually pretty easy to get into, and we would love to see you in Costa Rica with us. So I want to thank you for attending. If you have if you want further information, contact your INA benefit specialist. You can reach them at 800-456-7999. That number, of course, is answered by a person. We don't use voicemail here, so Nina will take your call and route you. If you don't have a rep, just let them know you're new, you don't have one, and we'll get you one. Appreciate your time, and we'll ask you to make it a great day.